Hey, this is Dexter Manley, two-time Super Bowl champ of the Washington Redskins. They call me the Secretary of Defense. Man, I understand you're a big Dexter Manley fan and a diehard of the Redskins Nation and a fan of the Redskins. Really, HTTR, hell to the Redskins. Thanks for rooting for me for all those years. Today, I'm rooting for you. I understand you got a podcast called Subfacts. I don't know what the hell it is, but I think I'm going to listen.
Hello and welcome to Subfacts. I'm your host, Matt. I'm here with my partner in crime, Mooney. What's up, Mooney?
What's up, dude?
You know why I put Dexter on there?
Why?
I'm so excited. This weekend, I will be driving to Fredericksburg, Virginia to meet Dexter Manley and Charles Mann.
Oh, nice.
I have my Redskins football all ready to go. Get them to get their graph on it. I'm going to probably get a picture of me.
Is it a signing session or
Yeah, they're going to be at a sports bar for an hour or something like that.
So they're going to sign autographs.
Yeah. But don't think I'm not going to get a picture of me with my favorite player of all time.
Dude, that's awesome, dude.
And I'm going to be like, dude, thanks for pitching Subfacts. And he's going to go, I don't know what the hell it is. And I'll be like, well, you've been plugging it for quite some time, sir. Quite some time.
Dude, that is awesome. You got to wear a Subfact shirt.
Well, see, that's the thing is I don't know. Do I wear my Dexter Manley jersey or do I wear the Subfact shirt? Because it's
wear the Dexter Manley jersey.
Because I think it might be more appropriate. But if I wear the Subfacts, what if I roll in and he's like, dude, that's my favorite show, Subfacts. I'll be like,
wear the Subfacts hat.
Ooh, good point. I might have to do that. So Dexter Manley jersey, Subfacts hat, boom.
Bam.
Best of both worlds. And I don't want to shortchange Charles Mann. He's a solid one as well. But since Dex is my favorite of all time,
I mean, got to go with your favorite.
Absolutely. But I'll get a picture with both. Me in between, what up?
What up, dude? And be like, Subfacts.
Yeah, I think that's how we do it. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. Me and the boy are going to go down and have a good time with the former Redskins.
Yeah, dude, live it up.
It's going to be fun. Gonna be fun.
Get some good food.
Just like this show. This show's gonna be fun. We got a big show ahead of us.
Big show.
Yes. So without further
not the Big Show, the wrestler, a big show.
Oh yeah, good point. Without further ado. I like saying ado.
Ado?
Yeah, it's like Freddie ado.
Like female, like do
a dear, no, there's no ado in that.
A bid ado.
Yeah, it's like without further ado, or I bid you adieu.
Okay.
I don't know what ado even means, but good for it.
All right.
Look.
Here's the warm up, guys. First question: which of these NFL facts isn't true? First one is the Commanders have not shut out another team since 1991. Doug Williams has had as many Super Bowl touchdowns as all of the Broncos QBs combined. Walter Payton has the most consecutive rushing titles. The Jets have never beaten the Eagles. And the Chicago Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer.
So I think the Doug...
I only know one for certain. That's it.
So the Doug Williams one in that Super Bowl, the 87 Super Bowl, if I'm correct, Timmy Smith ran the same play. It was the counter trade, the running play, the whole time. I think Doug Williams only had maybe two.
Doug Williams had 4 or 5.
They won 42. They won 42-10. But I'm pretty sure.
Right, that's 6 touchdowns. I think he had 4 touchdowns passing at least.
I don't know. I want to say, okay, he could have. The Broncos, though, they're typically pass heavy.
The Broncos have only won 2 Super Bowls, I think.
I know Timmy Smith ran the field the
2 with
time.
Elway and 1 with Peyton. But the one with Peyton, I don't believe they ever had a throwing touchdown because I think it was all running and defense.
I think the Commanders one is true. I do think they haven't shut another team out since 1991. Let's see.
Well, I know for a fact the Jets have never beat the Eagles. That's a guaranteed fact.
Okay. So then the Bears have never had a 4,000-yard passer.
Jay Cutler.
McMahon wasn't that great, if I'm correct. He wasn't he wasn't the passing guy, and that would
See, the Doug Williams thing, it seems like a red herring, so I'm not going to go there. I already know the Jets. Walter Payton has the most consecutive rushing titles. Sounds very accurate.
Well, no, there's been a ton of people in
Not in his day. I mean, Emmitt Smith came a little bit after him. There wasn't really anybody that challenged him when he was the best. Because he was the best from like 80 to like 86, 87.
Yeah.
What do you call it? Barry Sanders came later. Emmitt Smith came later.
I think the
Curtis
sad thing
Martin
is
came way later. Terrell Davis was later.
I think the Commanders one might be jacked up because there's going to be one rando game. There'll be like one game. Because I just can't imagine it because it seems like they're the ones that would get shut out.
My guess would be the Commanders have never shut out.
I'm going with you on that one.
But it seems red herringish. It seems too out of place.
Should we just go for it? I feel it. Let's take a gamble.
The Bears have never had a 4,000. See, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, but but if you think about it, like somebody, to your point, Cutler would have had some random year. There has to be a random year.
All right, let's go with Commanders. I think it's going to be Bears, though.
All right. The real false one is Walter Payton only had one rushing title. So he did not have the most consecutive.
That was a good quiz.
That was real good.
You really got me there because I know that Peyton had a lot of rushing yards, but the rushing title that threw me off.
Yeah, way to go.
Way to go,
All right,
dude.
next one. Would you rather your wife is able to read your mind anytime you are out with your friends, or you violently throw up anytime you see the letter Y?
Oh, maybe it's not easy for you, but it's 100% easy for me. I'll take the wife thing because we've been married so long. She reads my mind anyway, and she knows it's dement. She knows the jokes. Like she's heard the jokes 50 million times. There's nothing in my head that she doesn't already kind of know. So,
well, you have to go with the first one because the letter Y is all over the place. It's in words, everything.
I don't like throwing up. The art of throwing up is not pleasant.
I mean, throwing up doesn't bother me, but
no, when you start like when you start, your face just feels all like, nah.
But there's just too many words. Like, okay, even in the first question, the letter Y is in there. You would violently throw up.
Yeah, no chance. Violently throwing up is just awful. When you get the bile taste too, because that taste sticks in your
I don't mind
throat.
throwing up as much, but I mean the Y. I mean, just because it's a letter Y, I mean you'll see it all the time. So I'm going to opt with the first one, which is going to suck
for you. Like
for me,
yeah, for you, absolutely. Me, on the other hand, like I said, she already knows the jokes. So
yeah, but like anything, like I would do that with Lennis Morissette, or
like she hasn't heard it. She knows where the list. She's seen the list,
right? But like any girl that walks by or any like person in the road, like
I'm pretty sure she knows.
Yeah, I mean,
I make it obvious. Like
you make it kind of obvious, but for me, that's a tough one. I would go with number one, but I'm not liking it.
And I've told you, my wife is the one that would call me out and be like, "Yeah, well, go ahead. You think you can get hurt? Go ahead and try it. Try your luck." Just to see how that works. She knows I have no game when it comes to that. So it's all good.
All right. Last question. Could you eat 2 century eggs for $1 million? You would have to bite into and chew each one. You could not try to swallow them whole. For the record, century eggs are a Chinese culinary dish made by preserving duck, chicken, or quail eggs in a mixture of clay, ash, salt, quicklime, and rice hulls for several weeks to several months. They are known to taste and smell like a strong, pungent, and ripe blue cheese with a hint of ammonia, and the texture is gelatinous and soft.
Absolutely.
I love blue cheese. So you had me at blue cheese. I'll eat a whole blue cheese wheel. I'll do it. I would do that right on the show. Love it. It looks nasty. Everything you're describing is nasty.
Yeah, everything is nasty, but for $1 million?
$1 million. I'll do it for 50,000.
Yeah, I mean, for $1 million, no problem.
Easy.
Yeah, you think you could do
it?
it?
I can do a lot of things for $1 million.
Well, if I win the Powerball tonight, we'll do this bet with you guys.
Okay, good.
There you go. Bam.
We'll each. Do we each get $1 million?
Sure.
If I win,
Good.
win the 1.2 billion Powerball, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we'll do it on the show. I'll eat 2 of them. I'll eat both of the ones that are.
Well,
in the
I got to win Powerball first, so root for me.
So how much? I wonder how much these things cost.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that expensive.
They look nasty and gross, but like I said, I mean, $1 million.
Yeah, the fact that somebody's actually paying to eat those things because they want to, leads me to believe I can eat any of that. I'll eat that all day.
Yeah.
Unless it's spicy, then you'll have a hard time.
For $1 million, I'll do what you did, But okay, cool,
All right.
Awesome.
That's the end.
Oh,
Bam. Oh,
see, those things are they take out cows and stuff.
right. As I'm saying, you're not
You're
going
not
to
gonna
elbow
win
drop that.
against a.
The lion doesn't have a way to elbow drop the snake. We do. That's why
It's a
we're
lion.
dominant.
Lion
It's way
has
stronger
like a
than you.
way
And it weighs more.
bite the snake off.
Okay. We have opposable thumbs, right?
Opposable
We
thumbs
have
aren't gonna
bigger
do
brains.
anything.
We're smarter.
Opposable thumbs.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Punch the snake?
You know that's how I do. Yes, I'd headbutt it and punch
Snake
it,
is not going to care.
and I would do the.
The lion has rock iron claw teeth that are going to bite into the snake and rip it off.
This one was apparently too slow.
My point is if the lion is going to be dead that quickly with the strength in their body and their bones, you think you're going to survive?
The lion can't do a running jump and elbow drop. The lion doesn't have elbows.
You think you're running with a snake?
I have elbows. I'm doing the Randy Savage.
What if the snake is already wrapped around your body hole and your elbows?
I'm like.
How are you running?
I'm like 6'3". That thing's
You
not going to
think
be.
you're going to generate enough speed with your larynx collapsed?
I got enough to be able to do a running jump, and then
To run, you need oxygen. That python is basically squeezing every bit of air out of your lungs.
Plus, it's going to weigh like 200 or 300 pounds itself. So
Thank you,
I'm
Ryan.
used to weighing that. So it's.
So you can
you
run with a
deadlift-
200.
can you deadlift 300 pounds?
No.
No.
Well, then
but what I'm saying
then there's
is,
no way you're going to be able to run and jump with a boa
even
constrictor around you.
even based on my weight, even if I just fell backwards on top of it, it's going to have to let
No, it
go
won't.
because it's in pain.
You don't think
No,
the lion
you're
didn't
not-
fall down?
Not till it was too late.
You think a snake is going to get hurt when they're wrapped around your body and you just
You're
fall on
making
it?
it seem like these are like super snakes. Like they don't have
super snakes.
like
All
they've
they're
never
doing-
been punched in the face.
Oh my god.
All right.
Just saying.
Never going to work.
Let's
dude.
move on
You're
because
done.
we got a long show.
Okay, cool. So anyway, I wanted to start off and say your one chip challenge video on TikTok, did extremely well. So
Nice.
it's still rolling up the charts, as they say.
I know we got some
um,
Facebook comments on that one too.
Yeah, so it was kind of neat. So folks, if you haven't seen it, check out our page on TikTok and you'll see Mooney's one chip challenge. It's also on our YouTube page as well.
The recovery on that was way worse. than
That's
the
what I wanted
challenge.
to talk to you about. So we know that like after you ate it, it took about 15, 20 minutes to like settle down.
Yeah,
So, and then you were fine that night.
I was fine that night.
So tell us about the next morning.
The morning hurt. The morning hurt a lot
Yes.
because at that point urination was a burning sensation a little bit.
Really? Like it burned to pee.
A little bit.
Oh my god.
It's not
Does that happen? Does
not
that
like
happen?
a not like a complete oh my god I'm peeing fire, but like a
like do you, when you have like normal spicy food, does it
No,
ever burn to
no, but
pee
that
the
was
next? So that
insane.
actually
Yeah, there was a
inflamed
different
your
level of
bowel, your like bladder.
Yeah, and it felt like someone was sticking a fork up into my
Oh.
anus to pull poop out.
Oh my gosh. So, and you said you had like 4 oil changes.
Yeah, 4 oil changes the next day.
Oh my god! And it was like, this is gonna sound really bad, but were we dealing with solids or liquids?
No, they were mostly solid, but I mean,
Okay. but it was just a painful. Like,
yeah, like I said, a fork, like grabbing it and pulling it out.
like ow.
I've never.
Came out, but it
So
felt like
you were
that.
you were left with a Johnny Cash, like a burning ring of
Yeah,
fire.
yeah. I fell into a burning
We're
ring
gonna
of fire.
call this show Johnny Cash.
Yeah, no,
So-
it's not good the next day.
Wow.
Yeah, they don't advertise that part.
No,
People
no,
don't-
I've never seen a TikTok on that. Like where, and honestly, you should have done one like live from the bowl, because then we would be able to give the after part 2, as they say on TikTok.
Yeah, it's just not good. I mean, that's why I said I would do it again for a first time, not knowing what happens.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it another time knowing what happened to me.
So, yeah, because it's one of those things. The after effects are way worse than the coming out is way worse than going.
So
in.
doing it as a challenge with somebody else would not be worth it for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I know I'm not going to go 10 minutes or 5 minutes, and I know I'm not going to beat it, and it's not worth the next day.
I can't believe it affects the pee. Like I had no idea.
It was,
that you.
and I've never had pee affected before until then.
Oh, that's awful. Did you?
I was just, because you're watching at that point. You
Yeah.
want to see if you're, discoloration.
Sure. Did you have like crazy dreams too about it?
No,
Like,
no.
nothing,
I mean, that was
nothing
fine.
where it just like get you with. I've had
No.
some crazy dreams this week, so that's why I was kind of like.
I don't usually get crazy dreams.
Oh, I had a crazy one the other night, and this has nothing to do with, we didn't plan this, but I was sleeping in my slumber, all perfectly normal. I get up to go to the bathroom, I come back, and then I go into this like nightmare, and it was like my friends, and we were at an amusement park, and everything's all good, normal. There was a roller coaster, a new roller coaster everybody wanted to try. I didn't, because I don't ride roller coasters. And I'm like watching all my friends, like, oh, there they go. And I noticed like there was like a mess up, like when they went over like one of these little hills, and it fell off the track. And so the whole thing fell.
What?
Yeah.
Like Final Destination style?
Yes. It was like Final Destination. No, but it fell. And I heard like CDO, no offense if he's listening, CDO, I could hear him yelling some expletives on the way down.
Oh,
so
no.
of course, like I jumped the fence, like when all the smoke clears.
You're going to try and save him?
I did. I jumped the fence and I ran over to him, and it was like he was like half a body.
You never save anybody.
I know, but in this case, that was my move. That was my like.
And he was half a body?
I was a first responder, and he was like half a body, kind of all bloodied and stuff. And then he was like, "Am I going to be okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're going to be fine." That kind of thing.
Oh,
But
man. Like,
meanwhile, I'm like, "We need some help over here."
well, yeah, you can't reattach him. You're done.
Yeah, and then I went in and I found Glow. She was fine. Like, she was easier to take care of, but CDO was pretty much torched. But I woke up so panicked that like I thought something really could have happened.
really happened.
So I almost called him, but then I realized I'm not going to call him at like 6 a.m.
Yeah,
just
that
to
would be
make sure
dumb.
he's not dead in a roller coaster accident. That probably wouldn't have happened.
I mean, a roller coaster accident's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, but it was vivid. It was just like,
Jesus.
like you would think I had that chip.
That's crazy.
It was very weird. It haunted me. And so,
man, see that? I mean, like I almost saw like a real life. I was watching. We got done with our walk, had some beers in my buddy's backyard, and we were watching a neighbor of his cut down a tree, and he was using like a chainsaw, like on the top of a ladder, like top of the ladder, not top like step. So you have some leverage, like top of the ladder, nowhere else to go, where it tells you not to stand, and like wielding a chainsaw, cutting down a tree. And like, cutting this limb, one limb, he put the chainsaw coming back at him.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, am I going to see Final Destination style?
Yeah. Well, you could have.
I didn't get paid off, but I was,
You're like, do it, mess it up. Because most people don't realize chopping down a tree, not as easy as George Washington will tell you.
No, not easy at all. You have to get spotters that pull with like a bungee or whatever.
Oh yeah. Cause to make sure it lands properly. But
this dude didn't care. He let it land on the neighbor's
But
fence.
even just people just think chainsaws are just dunk. No, there's actually force you have to put in there. So what happens is a lot of people jerk back and then don't hit their heads.
Exactly. And that's what
you were waiting for that.
I'm
You're
sitting there going, oh my God, we could see something magical here.
And then you could have been like me, just run towards it to try to save your buddy.
But see, in real life, you probably, in your dream, you're saving somebody. In real life, you're going, oh shoot, what do I do?
By the way, while I was mentioning CDO, this weekend I found out that BK has no idea or had no idea what CDO's real name was.
Really?
He was like, he only knows him as CDO. And then his wife was like, who is CDO? And he's like, you know, CDO. And he had no idea. He's like, I don't know what his real name is. I just know him as CDO.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah. So that was an interesting revelation this week.
Nice.
So
yeah, he knows two people, me by Mooney and Jeff by CDO.
Exactly. So all good. So I'm glad you recovered from the one chip challenge.
Yeah, I did. I mean, it took a day, but it was fine.
Did you do anything for Halloween?
I did not.
Oh.
We went to like the Ashburn pub like party.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty cool. You know, I mean, there was a couple of people dressed.
Yeah.
There was one guy dressed as Big Lebowski, which was cool. One guy who won was Cruella de Vil, the male version.
Oh.
So I was like, okay, well, you shouldn't. I mean, he looked a little bit like Cruella de Vil, but I'm sitting there going, it's kind of weak.
I did this thing this weekend that had costumes, and it's very odd when there's like a costume contest and people just like half-ass it. Like when you think of like a costume contest, you think of like Comic-Con, like somebody who's actually put some effort into things. These people were so random, and you felt bad for them that it was so awful, but you had to pick a winner, and the winner is like all happy that they won, and you're like, you put no effort in.
Yeah, you should.
Won.
I mean, the winner should have had some sort of effort.
Like, I'll be honest with you, I went just wearing like a funky hat and like a tie and stuff, not dressed up, but just more like, okay, it's funky, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, anybody who wants to enter this thing. And I'm like, no, I'm not actually dressed up as anything. I'm not that's not my thing.
Right.
I knew the rules apparently because people were just showing up randomly and they're like, and who are you? And they couldn't even explain who they were.
Right. Well, I mean, Ashburn Pub was similar. I mean, the people that did enter the contest, they had a Ken and Barbie that looked a little bit like Ken and Barbie, like Cruella, Jeff Lebowski.
And you see the Jake from State Farm and the progressive lady. I've seen that like 5 different times, which is stupid. I don't know why.
I didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see that one. But we couple of like we're a little bit out there. Fee dressed as a nurse, but I told Fee, I was like, babe, like don't go into the contest.
Yeah, like don't believe you're gonna win. You're not gonna win.
You're a nurse. Yeah. I mean, it's cool, it's fun, you're dressed up, people see you, go, oh cool, nurse costume. But you're not gonna win with a nurse costume.
In this case, the person who won was a trans. But the funny thing is the person's like a trans 365, like throughout the. So you
can't.
So I'm like, you can't go as
they win as themselves,
basically, and they won because of the fact that they were trans, which nothing against that, nothing wrong, but their costume was their 365 24 Jesus. And I'm like, how is, like, granted I don't know the person, but you could tell
they could have maybe
you could tell that
flared it up a little bit.
You could tell that like they're living the dream,
right? I mean, they didn't have to go buy that costume, they took it like one of their more risque outfits out of the closet.
Exactly. And so
wow.
The one thing I noticed with Halloween that drove me nuts was more often, like, now we have like the Ring doorbell. Everybody has a Ring doorbell these days. And so my doorbell was going off 24/7, which is what you expect. But the most annoying thing is Ring has this like thing where they tell you about all the crime in the neighborhood.
Right.
And so you just get tipped off to all these things. I like it throughout the year. I'm fine. Because if somebody got their car broken into down the street, I want to know. But it was like, people were getting their bowls of candy stolen from the door.
If you put a whole bowl out, you have to expect it. It sucks.
100%. I'm not saying that like I would do it. And I've always been a big fan of the honor system where if it says take 2, I take 2. But I put a bowl out. This year I put a bowl out. I 100% knew it was going to be overtaken by the older kids.
Right. At some point,
I don't have a problem with
someone's going to take more than
it's Halloween.
2. Right.
It happens. I'm not going to sit there and report it to like the police or whoever you have to report to then show up on the Ring thing.
Right.
Dumbest thing ever.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to use it to report kids, that's kind of just don't put candy out at that point.
Yeah, it's like
Or
if it means that much
Make
to
him
you,
ring the doorbell, and then you come to the door, and then you actually put candy in the bag.
yeah, or just go buy the crap candy. Nobody's stealing a whole thing of Dum Dums. You know,
if you put crap candy out, then you're guaranteed no one's going to steal it.
exactly. If it means that much to you, you know what I mean. Like the whole point, you're giving it out anyway. Who cares? I don't care. But it annoyed me because that's all my phone was just blowing up like alert, alert, alert. People stealing candy.
Too bad. Like if you couldn't have, imagine you could set up something
Mhm.
like on the outside, like a paintball gun,
Mhm.
right? And then like if you saw someone steal it, you'd be like, you could set the paintball gun off, and then you could totally peg the person who took the whole bowl of
I
candy.
wonder, are you allowed to shoot people with a paintball?
I mean, if they
No.
steal your whole bowl of candy, you should be.
No, you're not.
No, that would be assault.
Did you just make that up,
No,
or
you can't assault people.
No,
because-
like, but if the
I don't
person's
consider
stealing, if the
shooting
person
someone with
is
a paintball that is at your house
stealing,
assault.
It kind of is.
it would be fun though if you took like an upper room, like a higher location, and just sniped them out. If they
Or
took
what
their
if you just
stuff.
had a bucket of slime and then you just slime the person that's
Is that assault too?
It could be assault. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Look, you
Brian,
can't throw anything or hit people or do anything unless they're physically attacking
They
you.
stole
It doesn't
candy.
What
matter.
about like
There's
gun,
nothing. There's
like
there's no danger to you or your person or any other people.
They came to my door unsolicited.
well, no, yeah, it's
But it's
unsolicited,
not
but
because you were giving out candy. It's implied.
No. I wasn't giving out candy. I had a bowl
you
of
put
candy.
candy.
No. That's for me. Whenever I leave, I like to have a piece of candy.
That's not gonna work, buddy.
I also like to have a piece of candy.
That's a stretch like no other.
Does it
sir.
say take one? So
Do
I
you
just
put a sign? Most people put a sign up that says.
what I'm
take
saying
one,
is if there's
please.
no sign, then there's no right for that kid to take any candy from a bowl that is on my property.
If it's on
Harry
Halloween
Mason
and you
had
put out
one
a bowl of candy, it's implied.
Oh, really? It's implied. Okay, well, guess what's also implied? You're going to get a pink under the face hole if you try to steal my
I
whole
don't think
thing.
that'll work. I don't think that'll work. But you could try
Right.
that.
What about water gun? You
You
could
could be
shoot
the
them with a
test
water
case.
gun.
You could.
Ooh, a water gun.
Water gun would be good because it's a
Oh,
little
apparently
chilly.
that's assault
I don't
too.
think they'll arrest you
Jesus.
for that, for shooting them with a water gun.
Yeah, but if it's like a little chilly or something like that, shoot them with a water gun. I think that'd be fun
Awesome.
next year.
Acid gun.
Yes, that might be assault. Apparently, everything's assault. Okay, so for Halloween, I didn't do anything, but I went to the Tally Ho, which I normally love. The Tally Ho failed me like no other.
Oh,
this
you went to
week.
see the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I did. I love the Rocky Horror Picture
you were all
Show.
excited about that.
I was raised
you were
on it.
gung ho.
It is 100% the best musical of all musicals.
That may be a little too far. That
But
may be
anyway,
a little bit of a stretch.
It's I live for it. All right. So I see that the Tally Ho had Rocky Horror Picture Show playing Saturday night, and I'm like,
And you're like,
dude,
I'm all in.
I am 100% there. So here's what they did. They said live. No, they said projected on stage, right? And so I'm thinking, like, if anybody who knows Rocky Horror Picture Show, you're supposed to, you watch the movie, but there's people acting it out in front of the movie. And then, like, there's a lot of crowd participation and whatnot,
Right.
all that. I'm like, yes.
I even know that.
Yes. I'm like, this is what's happening. I'm all excited. And we get there. All they did was play the movie,
What?
just to play the movie. And
Well, that sort of sucks.
no, it sucked big time. Don't get me wrong. I like the movie alone for the nostalgic perspective and the music, but the whole experience is lost. And so the other aspect to it was I had to convince the boy to go with. It was going to be his first experience, and I was hoping it was going to be the magical experience
right,
that
you had when you were young.
when I was young. And so I even prepped him ahead of time, and I was like, it's culture. You're not going to probably like the movie, but it's culture. You should kind of get into
Right.
it. And I said, the coolest.
It's a rite of passage.
Yes. I said, the coolest thing about it is the crowd gets to participate by yelling out certain expletives.
Nice.
And so he was like, well, do I get to yell expletives?
In
And
this case.
I said, you know what? I talked to your mom. I smoothed things over. for the 2 hours that we're going to be at the show, carte blanche. What I didn't realize, and I totally forgot, I thought like when the main character Brad comes out, everybody yells a-hole, right? And then when Janet comes out, everybody says slut. I'm thinking it's that, right? I totally forgot about the narrator. When they show him, you're supposed to yell, "Where's your effing neck?" So, of course, my wife was like, "You can even drop the F-bomb if you want."
Whoa.
I didn't remember that was the thing. So he's like all ready to do it. And he's thinking, I get to drop the F-bomb in front of my parents. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Which I figured
he's stoked.
Most kids are kind of nervous because
Right.
In theory, it sounds great. You want to do
Right,
it.
But when you're ready to say it, then you're a little
when
bit
you're up to
gun-shy.
bat, you're up to bat, you're like, no, you think better, and you're just like, damn it, he, that kind of thing.
You say, "Where's your effing neck?"
So we're in the movie theater. It's dead quiet. The audience doesn't really know. Can we talk? Can we not? Whatever. Dead quiet. Nothing's going on. The movie's playing. The guy shows up. My 12-year-old immediately blurts out, "Where's your effing neck?" But he says the full thing.
He says full, yeah.
And this is the weird part.
He goes all in on the name.
He didn't clinch up at the last second and barely throw it.
Comfortable as all get out.
He was like a truck driver from New York. Like he had been saying it for 30 years.
Like he was yelling at somebody who cut him off.
It was like it was a common word for him. And he started the ball rolling. Then the rest of the crowd kind of chimed in. But every time this guy showed up, my boy is leading the charge.
Going, "Where's your effing
he
neck?"
said it with such comfort. It was like if you or I said it, like at a bar somewhere.
Yeah, like me watching a football game.
which leads me to believe this may not have been the first time he's ever
absolutely not
actually used that word. It would I feel like he's the kid at school that's every other word on the playground.
I'm sure he's used it many times.
I feel like that was
that's
just
a word you ease into, and he felt
there was no tiptoeing, no baby steps. He just went full on home run.
That's awesome.
And then when we got to the a-hole part, that just rolled right off the tongue.
Well, I mean, if F is comfortable, the rest is
it's like
F is that's the number one.
Yeah, but that was the highlight. He he was bored through some of it, but loved the fact that he got to use profanity. He took extra joy in it. He practically just danced around it. And, but like I said, it literally hit home that maybe this isn't the first time he's
on the way there, did he sell you on the fact that he made oh, if you really say it's okay, maybe I'll really try and say the word.
He was excited. He was like, "I'm doing it in front of my parents."
Oh, so at that point, he's not
yeah, but he talks a big game sometimes. And
I've seen him do that.
Sometimes he kind of clams up,
but
especially in a crowded theater. I kind of thought I didn't think he was going to lead the charge.
And he's sitting there, bam,
boom, just like it was yesterday. Just boom, here he goes.
How come you didn't yell at first? Because you didn't.
I didn't know if he could. I got a little gun shy because the crowd was so quiet.
Right, the crowd was quiet.
And it was an older crowd too. It was I feel like I was one of the youngest people there.
Oh, wow.
So it was an older crowd. They were all just kind of sitting there watching. Did they
advertise it as just watching a movie or a full participation?
The funny thing is we actually went there earlier in the week to go to the box office and say, "Hey, could you tell us a little bit more how they're going to do it?" Blah, blah, blah. And they were like, the box office person was like, "I don't really know." So they didn't even tip us off.
Right.
So we had no clue that they were just going to play the movie.
They just play the movie, and the people who bought tickets were probably just watching the movie.
Yeah. And then you get a 12-year-old basically dropping F-bombs every 15 minutes or so, every time the guy showed up. And so
that's classic.
Yeah. So
that's the better show right there.
I am now curious. I want to get a tape on this kid just to see what he sounds like in the playground. Maybe I could learn a few new words, And so, anyway, the other thing that came up this week, I mentioned it last week. I've spent a lot of time in hospitals recently, and so
You have.
just different family members and whatnot. So one of the things I started working on is I have to work on a will for one of my family members, and so I've been putting that together. But I've talked to a lot of friends. You wouldn't believe how many people don't have a will.
Oh, I'm sure it's a ton.
And that's
I'm sure it's like 30%, 40% of America.
So like when I had my kid, that was like the first thing I did. Like we were like, boom, get a will, because you got to be prepared in case something happens. But there's so many people that don't, and they're just like, oh, whatever. Just,
like, I don't have a will.
So this is kind of like a PSA. I want to give a PSA because we do this from time to time.
Right.
Folks, if you're listening to this show, you're probably in our age range. If you don't already have a will, you should definitely get one. LegalZoom, you can do it for it's $80. You literally go on LegalZoom.com, knock out a will, because it's the right thing to do for your family, but also you don't want to get everything caught up in the courts and all and all that kind of stuff.
The will definitely helps iron it all out, so there's no one fighting over.
Yeah. But I was talking to you, and I think the funny part of this whole thing is everybody I talked to was like, it makes sense. And they have kids and all this stuff. You have no footprint, as they say.
Right. Like I have nothing.
You're like, there's no reason. And then I'm sitting there going, everybody has a reason. And then you're laying it out, and I'm like, well, damn, you might be the only one.
Right. I mean, I
literally has no reason.
I have 401k. I mean, fine, but it's nothing.
But it automatically goes to your wife.
It goes to my
she's
wife.
the
That's
benefactor. So you're like,
anything that happens to me, my wife gets stuff.
Yeah. So you don't have
no one's gonna fight for my jet stuff. So it'll go with my brother.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have anything that's.
Yeah, like you're the exception. I want to say from this PSA, you might be the exception.
Right. I mean, if you have kids, then if you're single and don't have anybody and you don't have kids, then what would you need a will for?
Yeah, like that I think should be the only criteria
you could get away. Who would you want your stuff to go to if something happened to both you and your wife at the same time?
He doesn't care though. That's the problem.
Oh, me and my wife? I mean, then me and my wife would have to agree. Then it would have to go to like one of our siblings.
Right. If you don't, then everything goes into probate if you don't have a will, and it takes them a lot of money and time. It can take up to a year.
Right. It'd be fine. We split it up 50-50 among my brother and her sister.
Right. So if you had a will about, then that would be easy for them, and it would be real breeze, and there wouldn't be any hardship on that. Right. So that would be the reason.
There's some pencil
I'm not going
jockey that's going soon. Like, oh great, we have a bunch of jet stuff to try to figure out who it goes to. Really? Can I get the Pat Leahy jersey?
My visor collection goes to.
No, but I mean, your 401k probably has some value, and you probably have some jewelry and other things, or something like that.
Yeah,
Gucci bags and stuff.
Oh yeah, if he has stuff.
Yeah, your wife's stuff.
I don't buy anything of value. Like, I mean,
so she needs a will out of the two of you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think she'll leave you anything?
She has like 20,000 in purses alone.
Wouldn't it be great if she just cut you out the will? If she's like, I leave my all my valuables trust to like a niece or something. If you got cut out,
you know me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect anything. I don't expect to be on anyone's will, anyone's thing, except for my parents. And even if they said we changed our mind, we're giving everything to Rob, I'd be like,
yeah,
it's my life.
Yeah, no, like,
I just wouldn't, like, in other words, it wouldn't surprise me. Like, it just, they would never do that. I'm saying is if I know I'm on my parents' will, but if he said, hey, you're a dummy, everything goes to my sister, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
I think you should do like a video will. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying how they want to do like a video will where they like have all the family members and friends like meet up to watch it, and they want to like specifically cut somebody out.
Oh, so my God.
So they're kind of like, you're cool, you get this, you get this, you get this.
Suck.
F you, Sam Jones, whatever.
Sam Jones.
Shecky.
I want you to go with Shecky Jones. You always go with Shecky.
Yeah, but
first.
so they want to have like the video, and then it's just them like goofing on that person. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Like, I might have to put a video.
Yeah, you should.
Too. I would have different volumes. Like there'd be different CD or
Oh
DVDs.
my God. Imagine you gave you would leave the show to somebody else. You're like, Mooney, you suck. I don't.
That would be hilarious. Like Mooney gets nothing of the show. It goes to your replacement,
Shecky.
or Shuni. But I would have like a whole video of just me laughing at that person.
Everyone gets nothing.
Yes, you all get nothing, you greedy bastards.
That's awesome.
That's what I would, and I would go, I'm going to give it to all of my belongings to a charity, and I would find the most like useless charity ever.
Right.
And that would be where all my money would go.
Like Pizza Around the World charity.
Yeah, it would be, well, that's actually better than, no, that's actually a solid one. But it'd be like, I'm giving it to the, like, I don't want to say the Carpenters Fund or something like the Carpenters of the world, whatever. I'd be do something like that, but like, and then just and then laugh at all my people. And then at the very, very end of the 3 different volumes of DVDs, then it would be like, just kidding, folks. This guy gets this guy gets that. Still,
you would put
that
them
guy
through all that.
Yes, 100%. I would actually have to make them listen to all of our shows before, and at the very end, they would have to it would be like, oh yeah, by the way, thank you for you're welcome for the enjoyment.
Who would you leave your autograph collection to?
It's not worth anything. That's the problem.
Like, yeah, but I mean, someone may want it.
The boy watches Pawn Stars, and he's like, he literally told me, he's like, as soon as you die, the next minute, I'm going to sell your autographs at Pawn Stars. And I was like, the joke's on you, not worth anything. If it says
that's awesome.
If it says my name on it, go F yourself. And then he was like, go F yourself, Dad. And he said it for real. No, just kidding.
Well, someone may, I mean, if their name is Matt, they can buy it.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But still, once again,
you have a common name.
That is true.
Right. Help. I mean, if it was written to Blart,
yeah,
right,
Blart would be short.
Right. Hey, Blart, thanks for being a fan.
Yeah, you could sell the mats individually. You're just not getting you're not getting any major money.
You're not getting any major money.
If these people are signing through the mail, they've probably signed to a bunch of other people too.
Right.
You're not getting anything major. So, but he's, like I said, he was literally like, on your deathbed, as soon as I hear the beep, then I'm selling your stuff.
He's going home immediately.
Yes.
They're like, we revived your dad. No.
I don't know. He must have like death on the brain too, because like he literally told my wife, he was like, she was telling him he had to like read or something for homework. And he's like, just so you know, there's going to be a time when I'm going to get asked whether I should pull the plug, and I'm doing it. And I'm like,
whoa,
wow.
Already? Jesus,
like,
that's you.
I was like, way to go, son. He's holding back. He's not holding back. But
F word, pulling the plug. Jeez.
Yeah, wait till he sees my will. He might be short. And so, but anyway, PSA folks out there, like I said, I've been dealing with all this.
PSA, get a will.
I've been dealing with all this no jokes and all that kind of stuff. It is something.
Yeah, you have. You've been in the hospital a lot.
I have been. I've seen a ton of crazy. Like, it's just like, and that's another thing too. I do want to give a shout out to the nurses, not so much the doctors. The doctors are nice, but they come in and out. They're there for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, but the nurses
go through hell. Like what the nurses have to go through as far as just cleaning up after a person, like bodily fluid, all this stuff. And then they're all chipper and happy. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because I would be like annoyed.
Yeah.
But they're happy to do that.
Dude, there's a Netflix special with Jessica Chastain. I just watched it the other day, and I believe it's a true story about a nurse who killed like over 300 to 400 patients.
Oh, wow.
Over time, like at just different hospitals.
Yeah.
So they accused him of like 12 or 13, something like that. But he would take insulin and he would put it into the water bag.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So like the insulin would basically kill the patient in about a day or so. And
wow.
And they were like, where's this happening? And then they thought maybe it was him, but at that point he kind of switched hospitals.
Oh.
So he finally got caught on like the last hospital he went to.
That's nuts. But I do want to say, like, shout out to the nurses at Inova, Loudoun County Hospital. Everybody was fantastic and super happy and chipper. And that's what you want when you're in the hospital.
Absolutely.
You want the sure.
Cute works too. Cute works.
Yeah, and there's definitely some cute nurses and whatnot. Yeah. So anyway, kudos to them. They have a much tougher job than one would think about.
My God, absolutely.
Like if you haven't been to a hospital in a while, you kind of just take them for granted.
Oh, I hate hospitals.
But when you go and you see all the work that they do, it's just crazy. So anyway, so kudos to them.
One of my least favorite places to be on earth.
Yep. And so
I think I would go to a different country and stay there a week than be in a hospital.
Yeah. And you know why I'm trying to give,
and I hate being in other countries.
You know, I'm trying to give positive vibes and or good positive shout outs to nurses and hospitals and stuff, because I'm trying to get good karma.
No. You're not going to get good karma, dude.
Well, you know, if the karma train has anything to do with it.
Dude, don't get me started, because at work today, we had another person asking about what do you call it?
I'll set the table really quick. So when you work in an office environment, I think most people listening to us do, there's always going to be somebody's birthday, somebody having kids, somebody's whatever,
getting married,
somebody retiring, somebody,
right? Exactly. There's always an event,
whatever, where a card gets slipped to you because it's don't tell anybody.
Yeah,
and then you got to pass it around, and it's like it's so obnoxious. I personally hate it, but they always hit you up for money.
They do.
So
that's my point. It sucks.
Yeah. So somebody was hitting us up for money, and I'm like, no, I got to put the buck stops here. Like,
you have to draw a line at some point.
You have to, because you give away, let's say it's $10. It's $10 times every 500 people.
$10, and 6-7 times a year.
Yeah.
And then you do that for 10 to 15 years. You're like, well, where's the payback?
And that's the thing. The problem is there's a few people that get the big parties, the big money, all this kind of stuff. The other people get shortchanged. Like when I had my kid, I got like $50, whereas other people are getting like 300.
Yeah, exactly. Because they know a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because the ground roots efforts? Or ground,
I think it's ground roots. Yeah.
Yeah. So the people who do those ground roots efforts for people like you are like me and maybe like some other.
It's grassroots.
Grassroots. Okay. Grassroots efforts. It's like me and maybe Shecky, right?
Yeah.
And they're not doing a lot of selling or whatever.
No. Whereas like if we had like a cute girl that was going around going, hey,
exactly.
So-and-so. Yeah.
The cute little 22-year-old who just started at the office. Hey, we're doing a little thing for Molly. Yeah. And it would be really great. But
at least I got like $50 12 years ago. You, on the other hand, you've given to everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Where's your payday? You've got no payday.
But okay, we had another person that worked for us. She didn't work. She retired this year.
Yeah.
But she's been there like 18 years.
Yeah, it's 20 actually. I think it was the 20.
She already had kids. She was already married. She wasn't getting remarried. She wasn't getting divorced. She wasn't getting she didn't do anything, right? But she gave to everything. Dude, the karma train owed her, like the karma train would have to stop at her house for a week and stay there and go, I owe you a ton. So I'm just going to be here a while. Whatever you want, I got you.
So then obviously based on our rhetoric, we looked like a bunch of a-holes that were just complaining. And I was like, no. This is like Christmas. Like when it comes to Christmas, you give, you enjoy giving. Yeah. Giving is fun. Nobody has a problem with that. But you should get a receipt.
I like giving.
Like somebody should be giving to you.
Okay, I like giving more than receiving. But at the same point, I like getting a little bit.
I'm going to be honest. I love receiving more than giving, but that's just me.
Right. I like to smile on people's faces, but I like some gifts in return. It doesn't need to be equal.
Yeah. So I called them out and I said, look, Christmas Day comes. You've spent all of your money giving to other people and there's nothing for you under the tree. You don't have a problem with it?
Yeah, no.
And they all said, no, I'm fine with it.
You liars.
Like, liar face. BS on that.
Exactly. One. Liar face. That's a liar face move.
Yeah.
All I'm saying,
karma.
And the person who came up to me and I'm sitting there going, like, look, you've already given way too much. Like, it already owes you more than you've ever gotten back.
Yeah.
You got to stop the cycle at some point.
You got to say no. I think they should get rid of all of it. Just if you're in an office,
that's the thing,
get rid of it off it. And you know what? And if there's a person that's even trying to go around collecting money, fire that person. Get rid of them.
Here's my semi-solution.
That's my subfact.
And I'm all for your subfact. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to tone it down a little bit and be a little bit nicer, at least say, hey, we're taking donations for the food that we're buying in celebration. We're going to have some Popeye's chicken. We're going to have some pizza.
Sure.
We're going to have some chips and dip and candies and whatever. We're taking donations for the food for the party.
For whatever.
Right. And then you go, okay, yeah, absolutely. I'll eat that'll be my lunch that day. Here's $10. Here's $8. But at least you get something back. You get lunch.
Yep.
Or you get food.
There should always be a give and a take.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always be
fine, but even for a guy like me, I'm fine with 5 gives and 1 take. But there's got to be some payoff. And the karma train's just not stopping.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop at my place.
Yeah, I feel like
it keeps rolling along. I'm going, dude, karma, like, hey, I could use some over here.
I feel like there's some people in our office that is almost purposely having more kids just so they can get that little extra, the little card with the extra money in it.
Right.
A-holes.
Hey, like, I have events too, just because I don't have whatever.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I got a dog. Can I get something? Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, we're going to be effed by the karma train, folks, just because we were speaking the truth.
Yeah, no. The karma knows the difference between the good people.
You think the karma weeds us out?
Absolutely. No. Karma's not going to weed us out. It's going to go, oh, shoot, I forgot about you.
Yeah. The karma. You know what stinks about those office things, too? It's always like in the summertime, somebody comes up with the idea of, hey, why don't we buy a cake for the office and we'll celebrate everybody's birthday. Like everybody who's born in May, this is your birthday cake and everybody eats off it, whatever.
Right.
It always happens by the time it gets to November, my birthday, they've already forgotten about it and they'll skip it. And then somehow in December, they'll go, oh yeah, we forgot to do it,
Right. And then they bring it back in January.
Yeah. But that'll be for those people in January. Like I have the worst, as you guys know, this is my birthday month, folks, and I have the worst possible birthday karma. And maybe I just screwed myself even more.
You're never going to
get last diatribe.
And that's the thing. That always happens.
Yeah.
They started in about March. It ends in about September, October. And then the people in those other months just get completely forgotten about.
Yep. It's a scam.
And it's okay. Scam. Oh, we'll just bring it back. And oh, remember your December birthday? Hey, join on in.
Yeah, and then you can't join in on when your birthday was in like you said, your birthday's in November. You're gonna jump in the January cake. You can't do that. No, dumb, stupid, folks, stupid. Anyway, with that being said, it's time for movies of the week.
Movies of the week, love it.
Boom. Okay, so this week, folks, I'm not gonna lie. If you choose to not go to any movies, no one will fault you. It's not a big, strong movie week. I will say the movie that's coming out this week that I'm extremely pissed about is the Weird Al Yankovic Story.
You like Weird Al Yankovic?
Love Weird Al Yankovic. Everything I've seen on it makes me go, I need to see this movie immediately as soon as it comes out. But you know why I can't see it?
Okay, why?
Because it's on Roku. No one has Roku.
It. It's only on Roku.
Yeah. No one has Roku.
It's not in the theaters?
No, it's on Roku.
What is that?
No one has even like.
How could you only have a movie on Roku?
Do you know how low budget Roku is?
I don't even.
It's a thing.
I could barely spell Roku.
It's a thing that turns your TV into a smart TV.
But everybody has Apple.
You have
or
Apple
Fire Stick.
Exactly. No one's got Roku. The fact that
Roku, the people who invented Roku don't even have Roku.
How do they have
money?
They have
something else.
Yeah. How does Roku even have money to pay for this movie? So I want to see it. It's going to be great. And yet it's on stupid Roku.
That is
Harry
really
Potter in that.
Yes, but it's still Weird Al. And Weird Al signed off on it, so it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I don't like that actor, by the way. Whatever
Daniel
his name is.
Harry
Radcliffe.
Potter.
Daniel Radcliffe. But
Daniel
he's
Radcliffe,
like
yeah.
5
You
feet
can literally
tall.
talk
He's
Harry
like 5
Potter.
feet tall. And
He's got a terrible name, and he's a bad
isn't
actor.
Yankovic like
Even
6'3" or
Daniel
something like that?
Do what? I'm
Isn't
sorry, both of
isn't
you.
Al Yankovic like 6'3"? And
Yeah,
Daniel
he
Radcliffe
is.
is like
never-
5 foot.
Honestly,
Al
I've never
Yankovic was tall.
I've never seen him live, so I don't know if he's taller. Like,
You're right. It's
I,
not in the theater.
I think he is tall, but it's obnoxious that he's going to be in a there's going to
All
like
right, he's 6 foot.
he's 6 foot. Okay, so but I think
Still, you're getting somebody who's tiny to play him.
I think
Like
I think
5
the world
inches.
has needed a Weird Al movie, and like they could. Honestly, if you did a good budgeted Weird Al movie, it would do huge in the movie
But why
theater.
Daniel
I think
Radcliffe?
a lot of
They don't even look the same.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I saw the trailer though, and I still want to see it, but
it was
I can't
a
see it
really
'cause
big stretch. But putting it on Roku is just it's a travesty.
So I'm going to tell folks
It's a death sentence.
I'm going to go to Flickster.to
Oh, and you can see it there.
and hope that it's on there, and then I'll be able to check
That's
it
how
out.
you saw T2, right?
Yes, and so
I didn't know that movie Terrifier 2, 2.5 hours. There's no way
I told you I fast forward the.
Yeah, I was
going
going to say, if you don't fast forward, how do you get through
By the way,
2.5 hours?
Now it's done like 30 times its budget or something
Yeah.
like that. It's like,
They've already announced number 3.
well, they have to.
Yeah.
It's going to be much better because it's going to be a better budget. They're going to have some, put some effort behind it.
Yeah, I mean, if you made the money you did, then you definitely have to put some more effort and
You
budget
have to.
into the movie.
Yeah.
You got to cut the movie down to less than 2 hours, so an hour and 45.
The only problem is if a big like producer comes in and puts a lot of money towards it, they're going to probably make some cuts for the gore because they're going to go like, we need to make it more appropriate for more viewers to get our money back.
You can make a little cuts to the gore. You can do Saw is fine.
That's the selling point. The gore was so good. The gore
fine,
is,
but then do it NC-17 and get a little more aggressive with the gore.
yeah. I just hope they don't screw it up. I hope they don't screw up part 3 because I'm going to be there strictly for the gore.
Maybe they get a little bit better acting. Maybe they get put Daniel Radcliffe in it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Him and what's his name?
Jake
Gyllenhaal. You got me saying Gyllenhaal now.
Is it Gyllenhaal?
Gyllenhaal.
Oh, okay.
But you have me saying Gyllenhaal. Okay, so anyway, I'm pissed that I can't see Weird Al. The next movie is called The Estate. And so it's basically about 2 sisters that learn they have an aunt that's pretty much almost done, and
they inherit.
And there's other people. Yeah, it's a whole fight over the person's estate, that kind of thing. Sarah Jessica Parker's in it. I'm not a fan. I'm probably not going to see this movie, but it's another movie that's coming out this week. The next movie is called The Minute You Wake Up Dead.
What?
And it stars Morgan Freeman and Cole Hauser. Cole Hauser's in Yellowstone. And so
Cole Hauser's okay.
Yeah, it basically is about a stockbroker.
The minute you wake up dead.
Yeah, it's about a stockbroker that gets involved in like a whole insurance scam type of thing.
All right.
So I would check that out. I think out of all of them, you can go see that. I would see The Minute You Wake Up Dead.
All right.
So
next week I'm excited. The Menu comes out. I want to see that.
The Menu for what?
The Menu movie. The movie called The Menu.
What's that about? I haven't seen it.
It's Ralph Fiennes. Oh my God.
Ray Fiennes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's Ray. He spells it weird, but it's Ray Fiennes.
Oh, I thought it was Ralph.
No.
Oh. Either way, it's about a guy who it seems more I want to see the movie.
Although he does have a brother.
From the coming attractions.
Pretty sure it's a Ralph
It
Fiennes.
leads you to
Is it no? He's got a brother, but he's at Ray Fiennes. Is it Ray Fiennes and Ralph Fiennes?
What?
So
I've
there's
never heard
Ralph
of Ray
Fiennes
Fiennes.
is the older brother.
Yeah. Who?
That's Ralph. That's the guy that's in the movie. That's Voldemort.
There's Joseph
Yeah.
Fiennes is his sibling.
No, but Ralph isn't he pronounced Ray Fiennes though, and not
No.
Ralph? I don't think it's said Ralph. I don't think it's pronounced Ralph the way he pronounces it. Rafe. It's Ray Fiennes.
Rafe Fiennes.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
You're
why.
right. All right. I didn't know that.
Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've always called him Ralph.
It's dumb.
Fines.
It's
okay,
really
and
dumb.
if the spelling
It's-
it got it.
It's stupid, but that's how he
Yes,
does.
he's got a
So,
brother
yeah,
Joseph.
Joe Fiennes was the guy who played Shakespeare in
Yeah.
Love.
Right. So there's like a specific sort of like course. And then when that course happens, like they go after a certain number of people
Uh-huh.
and those people are tracked down by like killers and they got to get away.
Oh, fun.
And like it looks,
And I love Ray Fiennes.
he's awesome.
That dude's pimp. Apparently, looking at the Wikipedia, he's got a brother named Magnus. Why
Magnus
isn't
Fiennes?
Magnus Fiennes in anything?
That's a great name. That's
Magnus
a
is
stage name beyond
like-
any other.
How pimp are you if your name is Magnus?
Yeah, your chicks are already attracted to you if
Yeah,
your name
like
is Magnus.
I would be like a step up in the world if my name was Magnus.
You absolutely
Why
would.
can't I be a Magnus?
You can change your name.
I'm already mad at this point, but But
Magnus Fiennes.
Magnus is just a pimp name.
Fiennes is a good last name too.
It is a solid name.
See, he's got a solid name. Some people have crappy names.
I'm
Daniel Radcliffe, crappy
Dumb.
name.
I'm team
Crappy
Magnus.
first name, crappy last name.
Yep. Agreed. Okay, so
Why not go by Dan? Why not go Dan Radcliffe? But instead, Daniel. Dumb.
yeah,
I hate full names.
dumb. It's kind of dumb. He lucked out.
It's like
too.
going about Matthew or Jeffrey. They're
Yeah, it's all stupid. What are you gonna do?
Oh, get this. Sorry, before we go into the next topic, my mom specifically wanted me to point out that one of my cousins,
Shecky?
no, I don't know if I should say her name.
You don't have to. No.
She.
Do you need a female name though, like Agnes?
Yeah, Agnes. Okay, perfect. Let's call her Agnes.
Yes.
Or
Mildred or
Her
Blanche.
live-in boyfriend
Mhm.
got an offer to become a chef in like New York City, I believe it was.
Cool.
Something like that. A
Yeah.
big city. I forget where the city was. But when he got to that restaurant, he was putting a menu together and like they were having like some big function,
Mhm.
like a barbecue function.
Mhm.
Maybe it was North Carolina. I forget where it was, Georgia. Maybe it was
Junction.
something more barbecue-ish because they said they were having a big barbecue feast.
Mhm.
And that was one of his first assignments was to put a menu together for the feast.
Sure.
He reached out to my mom and said, "Hey, Mom Mooney, Jody Mooney, whatever.
Sure.
Can I get your potato salad recipe? I'm putting potato salad on the menu."
Awesome.
In that same dream, did she dream that like her friends were in a
No,
roller
this is
coaster
real.
accident?
No, this is real.
No one
said-
asked for a potato salad recipe.
I'm shocked.
No
And that's why
one.
she told me.
The guy should be fired from his 5-star.
He's probably
restaurant.
going to get fired from the 5-star restaurant.
I
Yeah,
love
like
potato
has there been a
salad.
mission that said, "Hey, can I get your potato salad recipe?"
Right. And the guy who hired him is going to go, "Did I tell you to put potato salad on the menu?"
Yeah, you just lost your gig. Thanks. Way to
Yeah,
go,
exactly.
dummy.
Way to go. I mean, if you like potato salad, my mom's potato salad's like out of the park.
Sure.
But I don't know who likes potato salad.
No
I
one
like
likes
potato
potatoes.
salad, and I would try your mom's potato salad.
Ugh.
So
I
no,
would try your mom's anything
the
else.
best. The best is
but not
the
her
best
potato
is my
salad.
mom is old school cook, like
Yeah.
pseudo Polish, pseudo Italian cook,
Sure.
where it's like the grandma, like, and he's
Like,
like,
she doesn't keep like a
Right.
cup of this,
right,
a cup
it's,
of that. It's
yeah,
a
like
pinch
you
and
would,
a-
it would drive you nuts.
Yeah.
It's not a cup of anything.
Sure.
It's a pinch of this, a throw of that, like a
Yeah.
handful of this, and it's like, what do you like? It's not a cup of anything. It's
Yeah.
everything is just, oh, you flavor it to taste.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
They'll give you all like salt, pepper, mayonnaise, cumin, or whatever. But
Whatever. It's in the.
that whenever someone
No one
says,
should eat cold potatoes. I just want that on record.
whenever someone says flavor to taste, I'm like, you are a horrible person because I can't do that. I need you to tell me exactly how much should go in. So when my mom created a recipe thing for me, she put exact things, even though she didn't really know, but she guessed because she knows I deal in exacts. I can't do.
Well, all she has to do is really do the same thing, but instead of actually like her pinch, instead of actually putting in the dish, she puts it
into
in
something. Yeah,
she puts it
exactly.
into something that measures it, so she can have that ready to go. So it's an easy fix. I just personally
easy
don't
fix.
know why the person would ever ask,
Apparently people at barbecues like potato salad. I don't know why. I don't know how it ever came
There's
to be.
so many other great things you could have.
Mrs. Mooney,
like corn on the cob, macaroni and cheese.
Mrs. Mooney, please write in if you're listening to this. Please write into subfactspodcast@gmail.com with your potato salad recipe.
Wow. She will. Trust me. Mom, you got to do it.
I think, Brian, Mrs. Mooney, can you just actually send Brian a cup of it? That way we don't have to deal with it. I'm not going to make it. You're not going to make it. So, like, if we could just get her to get next time she makes it, just put a little bit of it in a cup and send it to Brian. I think that'd be better.
But then it loses its luster.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure Brian's a good cook, and if he had the recipe, he could duplicate it.
Oh, well, his pizza making skills indicate that he's
absolutely. They were on fire.
Yeah, so he's ready to go for that. But okay, we'll see.
There you go.
But
what's the minute mark? So my mom doesn't have to listen to the whole show. 1 hour.
105. Okay. So from one lovely lady to another.
This is Cindy Starfall, and it's time for Mooney's Dugout. Love you, Mooney.
Awesome.
Yay.
Awesome. Sports is rolling. It's on fire, right? You have hockey, basketball, football, college basketball's coming, and college football. So a lot to choose from. I'm going to start out. Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, is now ranked number 1 on the first college football playoff for this year.
Yeah.
So the college football rankings, the playoff rankings, if you will, for the first 4 and there's only 4 teams, sorry. Tennessee is number 1. And I believe it's like the first time in like the school's history, which surprised me because I thought they would have it with Peyton Manning, but I guess maybe they went against Florida a couple times and lost to Florida.
So do they typically, I know nothing about college. Do they typically play like our Sisters of the Poor, like throughout the season?
Okay. So that's an excellent question. I'm happy you asked. So for some schools, yes. For Tennessee, they do play 2 or 3 games versus Sisters of the Poor, Northwest, East, Ohio, Stanford State, right?
The ones nobody even knows that anybody goes.
They have like 5,000 kids or something like that. Or 20,000 kids, but no one, everyone there is like an IQ of 170 and they weigh 100 pounds and they have a football team.
Yeah.
Right. So they do play a couple of schools like that. But Tennessee is in the SEC, Southeastern Conference, which is the hardest conference by far, hardest teams. Your Alabama's in there, Georgia's in there.
They live for college football.
Ole Miss for college football.
Because they don't have any like NFL teams.
Right. So that's there, but they have the most players in the NFL. Like Florida has probably one of the most players in the NFL, and they're in the SEC.
Yeah, but I don't think they follow the player as they leave. Like when they're solely college, so it's like when that player leaves and goes to NFL, I don't think they care because they're not like
they sort of care. I mean, but the people who played at the college care.
Yeah.
Like remember when I got Elijah Moore's autograph?
Yeah.
He cares a ton about Ole Miss.
Oh no, agreed. I'm just saying the fans, those diehard fans.
No.
They're
you're right.
Straight college. They don't even pay attention.
Right. They're
NFL.
on to the next. Yeah. They're on to the next group. Yep. Like Peyton Manning leaves. Who's next?
Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So, Tennessee plays teams like Alabama. They beat Alabama. They're going to play Georgia this week. They play Ole Miss. So they play very tough teams.
So they're playing big timers.
But they also play some of the crappy schools. But it's a huge accomplishment for Tennessee. Very happy for them. I love Rocky Top, so I can't wait to see them. I pray they beat Georgia and go to the playoffs. That would be awesome. The New York Nets, sorry. Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets. I don't know why I said they used to be New Jersey, then they became Brooklyn Nets.
They're always going to be New Jersey Nets.
So Brooklyn Nets fired Steve Nash.
Good. F them.
Why?
You deserve to be fired.
No, this guy does not deserve to be fired. So Kevin Durant, who is the prima donna of prima donnas, one of the most hated basketball players in the league right now, is like, hey, like, I want to be traded. I don't trust Steve Nash and I don't trust the ownership and I don't want to be part of this process. And then he finally agrees to come back. And now they conveniently fire Nash 6 or 5 games into the season. And now they're going to hire the Celtics coach that was suspended.
Awesome. Well, tell me if I'm wrong.
How is it awesome for you guys? You probably would want him back.
No, we do. That's
they're going to hire him.
That's not awesome for me. But what I'm saying is, I know you got to deal with prima donnas. That's par for the course, right? When you're giving somebody that much money. But part of the coach is to be like Ted Lasso and kind of figure out how to work with everybody. If you've got a player that's basically going, I'm not going to play if this guy's here,
right?
It means you didn't control you're not doing your job as the coach to inspire, to get people motivated to play for you.
I mean, remember Ted Lasso lost their best player, Jamie something or other.
Jamie Tart.
But
what I'm saying, I get my point though is, but everybody else on the team was like gung ho. It sounds to me that Nash doesn't have anybody.
The other guy got upset that he wasn't his plays, whatever, and he didn't get the recognition. And now he's going to coach the other thing. My point is that happens.
But in the locker room, if you've got like your team not listening to you, a lot of times
they are listening to him. It's one guy. It's one prima donna.
If it's your main guy, though.
Did they fire Ted Lasso or did they get rid of Jamie Tart?
If Michael Jordan didn't like any of his coaches, do you think they would trade Michael Jordan?
No, they would absolutely get rid of the coach.
Exactly.
But the point is Jordan didn't do the prima donna bit. I mean, he was like, I love Phil Jackson. And it worked out.
It worked out. I'm just saying.
But LeBron James did it. He had whatever you call it. He got
Shecky.
No, the Cleveland, he was a smaller basketball player, had one decent season, then he ended up coaching Cleveland. He had one championship and then he completely failed. Mm-hmm. My point is, and then he goes to the Lakers and then he wants Darvin Ham hired. Come on, LeBron James is way too greedy, way too full of himself, and it needs to stop. The team needs to hire a coach and say, F you players, here's our coach. And the coach has to find a way to connect with the players.
Yeah.
And if it's only 1 or 2 players that are the problem, then sometimes
how long was Steve Nash there?
2.5 years. But through COVID, through the he was there through COVID. He was there. He made the playoffs his first 2 seasons, and then I believe he failed his third one. But
because I do think, and I'm more of a hockey fan, right? But I
find
Nash
is a phenomenal basketball player.
I find that like in hockey, and I'm sure in other sports as well, but like the life of a coach is typically like on average, I think it's like 3 years. And it's like if you haven't connected with your players in 3 years, if they're not listening to you in the locker room, once again, at this point, Kevin Durant is the one that's highlighted, but we don't know who else in the locker room isn't listening to what he's selling. At that point, you got to get rid of the coach.
Yeah, but if the people that you're worried about listening to are Kevin Durant, who's been on now 3 different teams, and he only goes to winning teams apparently, and then Kyrie Irving, who probably is one of the biggest malcontents you can ever have. No, I mean, I just don't.
Okay.
I hope Nash goes to another team, and I hope he wins, and I hope the Nets suck forever because I hate him.
No, and don't think that doesn't happen.
It does happen.
It happens all the times. So,
speaking of people who I hate, the Houston Astros are back in the controversy sector.
We're in the Phillies hat today.
Oh, go Phillies for sure. So Martin Maldonado, a catcher.
I love that name. That guy makes a good pizza. I'm telling you right now.
I think he's Latin.
Maldonado?
Maldonado. I don't think he's Italian.
I don't know. It sounds a little Italianish.
It does sound Italian, but I don't think he is based on the way he looks.
Okay.
So Martin Maldonado in game 1 used a bat that was determined to be illegal. So by game 2, he doesn't use the bat anymore. So again, the Houston Astros are back in the cheating saddle again.
If they've busted them cheating, like legitimately, they're like, this is a cheating bat. How are they still able to continue playing? How is that possible? Like,
you should ban the player for at least a couple games.
Yeah, you would think that, but you also heavily fine the team, if not forfeit a game.
Yeah.
Like it's like you cheated. Like
They don't.
and they can't say that the team didn't know. You know, do you think
They absolutely have to
there's
test?
no chance that the coaches didn't know?
It's the World Series. You're not taking any risk with bats or anything.
Yeah.
You're making sure everything is up to standard.
I think the Phillies get the win automatic. They should just be like, look, you won because these people had to forfeit because they got caught cheating.
Again.
Yeah,
Same
well, that's
team
what I'm
that
saying.
got caught cheating.
They have a history of it.
A history of it.
How are they allowed to keep going into
And the last time so the last time they cheated, they had the coach suspended for a year. Nothing happened to the team. No draft picks, no forfeited games, no whatever. Just the coach being suspended.
Like, when is a team, and I really don't know this, but when has like a major league team, NFL's, whatever sports team it is, gotten busted for cheating, like absolute cheating, and not really had any punishment?
They absolutely
why
get
are they allowed to be in the World Series when
the players get punishment, the coaches get punishment?
Because in the college they've said you can't play in any major bowls for like 3 years or whatever it is.
Maybe they have to make them play, but they draft picks or something. Miami got in trouble for the Tom Brady whatever. So they lost a first round pick this coming year. They lost a first round pick.
Yeah.
So what do you call it? Tom Brady was involved with that Deflategate, whatever.
Yeah, and he got
4
busted
games. 4 games.
Yeah, this guy gets busted on the highest stage possible in their sport.
Nothing happens to him.
Is there a way that they can come back and get him like next season, since it's a
maybe? But I mean, it's still like, come on, how do you not ever do anything to them?
I don't see how anybody can root. Like, even if you're a Houston fan, you can't root for your team to cheat.
I talked to a Houston fan the other day, and he was like, "Oh, dude, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying." I was like, "Oh, wow."
Like, don't get me wrong, I get it. Like, from like a football perspective, there might be some hard tackles or whatnot.
Yeah.
Or hockey, trust me, tripping, all that, hooking, that kind of stuff. I get it. But when you're literally going out there with like a corked bat, you know, where you're, or that might as well be like, hey, we're cool shooting steroids, you know?
Right. Or using a camera or using whatever.
Yeah.
You're not.
It's a different level.
For example, there's a TikTok video of Bryce Harper going around basically telling, he figured out the pitcher's tell, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he watched the pitcher and like the difference between when he threw a certain pitch on another pitch and the way he used his legs. So on one pitch, he like the lifted leg was touching a knee. On the other one, it wasn't touching his knee.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, hey, dude, he's like, Brahm, come over here. Brahm, I got you. And the batter came over that was on deck and he's like, watch. And of course, I think he got a hit, but the whole point was that's legal.
Yeah.
You're watching it go down. You're seeing it.
Sure.
You're using your eyesight. And then you tell another player.
Yeah.
You're not going, oh, okay, what I'm going to do is while you wait for the pitch, I'm going to clap, right?
It's dumb.
Stupid.
Okay.
Last but not least, the Commander's sale. You have to be happy about that.
Don't think I'm not. I am thrilled. It's everybody who's a Redskins fan has wanted this guy gone forever because, and I'll be honest with you, in the very beginning, I was a fan of his because he was like willing to spend whatever he had to spend, which when you look at an owner, you're like, that's what I want. I want a guy who's going to spend as much as he has to get a winning team.
Yeah.
But then you realize how much he actually meddles in everything and screws everything up.
Awful.
And he's just terrible. And so I think we can all breathe aside. Like, we were all happy when the news came out. My only concern is if he's going to sell it, there's a couple other locations, like St. Louis or, some of the teams that have recently lost teams. Is there a chance that the team could then be sold to, could it be sold to a St. Louis? And I'm like, if that's the case, I can't follow him. I'm never going to go to St. Louis.
Right.
At that point, I have to be an Eagles fan. Like, I dump out, but like, I'm hoping they stay. I'm hoping they make it DC.
They stay.
And I'm hoping they bring the name back. I'm going to put in subbacks. You've heard it here. I want Ted Leonsis to buy the team because at that point he'll have the Caps, he'll have the Wizards, he could have the Redskins, and then I think he's going for the baseball team too. So he could technically have all of them.
Four, yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. He's a great owner. I hate the Caps, but I love him. He's just a solid owner. I think he would be amazing, and that's what I'm rooting
and that
for.
would be a smart move, and I think he would, keep the team here.
Absolutely.
The only thing I do agree with you, they could get bought by another city, but there's a huge problem there, which is then you'd have to expand the league to 34 teams, right? Because if someone else bought a team, right? Well, no,
because you're losing
a team from one city, so it would stay at 32.
You could easily.
But the problem is if the Washington ever wanted a team back, you would need 2 teams.
Yeah, but it would take at least a decade or so to pull that off. But it could conceivably happen
without a DC, Maryland. Well, they would have the Baltimore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could conceivably happen. I don't want that to happen.
Virginia team without an NFL team, that would be huge.
Yeah, it would stink. But,
I mean, Cleveland went without one for a little bit, but it wasn't long. It was like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, so it could happen. Let's hope it doesn't happen because I do want to watch football here, and I want to be able to support the team.
I think you're going to be fine. I think they're going to get some billionaire local owner. I mean,
but as soon as they, like I said, if they ever move it, your boy's going to have a Randall Cunningham jersey pretty soon.
Randall Cunningham.
You got to go old school.
Okay, so I was told that it was a very good suggestion by a listener. They said I need to.
Well, you can spoil the bag.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I will let the mailbag cut it. But
let the mailbag speak for itself.
The parlay of the week, folks, and I put a little more time and effort into this one. I'm really thinking this one may pay off. Packers -4. Seahawks +2, Dolphins -5, Jets, Bills over 47, Bengals -7.5. There was a little thought that went into this. Bengals coming off a loss, Jets, Bills coming off an under, Jets coming off an under, Dolphins -5. Dolphins are playing well. Added 2 huge pieces this week. Seahawks are playing amazing and playing the Cardinals. I think that's an easy +2. Packers -4 over the Lions. Packers usually beat the Lions, and the Lions lost more players and their best tight end. So hope that helps, and happy betting.
Boom.
Mailbag. Okay, folks, it's time for mailbag. Mailbag.
All right.
Brian's hoping potato salad in his mailbag.
I can't wait till next week. All right. The first email is from Matt from the UK. And
boom,
Matt from the UK writes in, his subject line is hello from the UK. Go figure.
Hello.
He says, hello, Subfacts team. As usual, I'm a few shows behind and I have got some catching up to do. It's been pretty crazy over here in the UK. The Queen is dead. Long live the King. He said he's actually done some homework, but it's really late. The top 5 songs about girls. His first is Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne.
Stacy's Mom
call.
Has got it going.
I love that.
Mary by Supergrass.
I don't know that one.
I'm not a fan of Supergrass, but I
don't even know the band.
I know the band. It's not for me, but hey, more power to them. It's
Stacy's Mom, awesome.
But everybody should check out Mary by Supergrass. If you've never heard of them, always go out and check them out.
Judith by A Perfect Circle.
Love that song.
I don't know if I know that song.
That's actually the only Perfect Circle song that most people know.
Judith.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it if you heard it.
But
know. Like I know Brian's heard it.
Maybe have heard it. I don't recall it off the top of my head.
You've heard it. If you put it on, you would know it.
Mrs. Robinson by the Lemonheads.
Is for you, Mrs.
Specifically,
Robinson.
the Lemonheads version.
The Lemonheads version is better, and I agree with him.
What?
It is.
No.
It is.
It is not better. Sorry.
It is.
It's not better than Simon and Garfunkel.
I love the Lemonheads. Evan Dando, solid.
No, it's not better than. Oh my God.
I should get a credit for the pull for Evan Dando. But anyway,
No, you do.
nobody
get
has said
massive-
that name since the 90s.
No one's ever said it, but his mom. I mean, you get massive credit.
That version is awesome.
No,
It is.
it's not better than the original.
Sorry, it is, but okay.
All right, his last one is Fat Bottom Girls by Queen.
Awesome.
That
I think that Rob had that on his too.
yeah, he did.
Awesome. Can't get wrong.
That's a
with Fat
really good
Bottom
list.
Girls.
I wish Stacy's mom was number one, but
That was his number one he picked.
Well, he didn't
But it
put
was
them in
five.
order. He just put top 5.
okay.
That was just the first one.
I'll
Yeah.
just assume
You
Stacy's
can
mom was
assume
number
it's
one.
number
then.
one. Yeah.
He says
I'm going to assume it is number one.
he says he hasn't heard the follow-up show, so he's got no idea what other suggestions have been made. He also says he's had a look for the V flavored chips, and
Yes,
he's trying
remember
to find a
V
UK distributor.
Awesome.
And he says he's hoping to get some sent to you for Christmas, but the website the website looks dodgy. He says that being said, let's see what he can do. And he says, "Cheers."
You will have good karma if you bring us the V flavored
Yes.
chips for Christmas.
Matt, that was a great email. Thank you for that email.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
Thank you.
The next email
Um,
is from Space Coast Bill. And he
Oh.
says, "Hello and welcome to Movie Phone." That's the
Yes.
subject. He says, "Awesome movie of the week segment." He said it really saved an otherwise lackluster show. He says, "I agree with Matt that the new Halloween movie rankings are hands down 1, 3, 2." He said, "Mooney is wrong. Sorry, Mooney."
I've heard that
Yeah.
before.
wow.
He says, "As far as Prey for the Devil, it was disappointing. It seemed like a Hollywood watered down horror movie, but then I heard Matt say it was PG-13 and it made sense. He just assumed it was R-rated."
Yeah, that was what I was worried about.
He says, "On a side,"
Did you ever see it?
I did not see it yet.
Oh, okay.
he says, "On a s-"
I will 100% see it though.
All right, ready? He says, "On a side note, I'm fascinated by Nazi Germany, and I'm a sucker for any documentaries relating to it." He says, "I could never understand how Hitler and the Nazis could rise to power. Then last week, when Mooney was asking about killing someone, he says he'd be guilt-free because someone ordered you to do it."
He's not wrong there. He's not wrong there, sir.
No.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what's weird? So many people have like a fascination with that era, like the Nazis specifically. Like my mom, like growing, like she's the same way, just like Space Coast Bill. I feel like growing up, I've seen every possible Nazi movie ever.
Yeah.
And it's like in my adult life, I don't watch it because it's way too depressing. But it's like I feel like there's certain people, like there's times in history and they just focus on that, and that seems to be, I would say, probably the number one most focused time in history. And I don't know why. Like
they're like the worst villains ever that ever really lived.
They are.
No, but they are in our world. But like if you think about like Genghis Khan, you know, who like raped and pillaged the whole, like all of Asia. There, you know what I mean? Like there's worse.
But that wasn't like modern times, you know, like
I
in
guess that's what I'm
modern
saying.
times, like
Times of modern times,
Yeah.
it
In the
is.
parlance of our times.
Of modern
in like a
times it
modern
is, but
society where, you know, there's certain norms, social norms. People
Yeah.
like the Nazis should never have existed. It's crazy.
No, absolutely.
it is fascinating, but I'm like, I just don't like. I like how many like I've seen, like I feel like I've seen like everything, and it's just like it's always just so depressing. You know, it's sort of like you know, awful. Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't.
He says, finally, can Mooney say the results of the previous week's parlay? He says he liked the parlay segment, but he never knows how you did, Mooney, the week before.
Oh, you know what? Going forward, that is an outstanding idea. I am going to keep track. I went 3 for 5 last week. So, I mean, you know what? Maybe we should. I mean, I don't want to change it up because I love parlays. And if you bet $5, maybe you can win, depending on the odds, you can win between $80 and $120. I mean, if you bet every game that I said, let's say you put 100 on every game I bet last week, then you would have came out up 100 because I went 3 for 5.
Yep.
And that's not bad. I mean, but we can keep track for the rest of the year and see how I go.
Okay, cool. I think it'd be fun just to see.
I think, yeah, it would be. Like last week, 3 for 5. If you bet the parlay, you don't win squat douche. But if you bet every game separate, you do win $100.
Boom.
Nice.
Or $10, whatever the per item bet you make.
Yeah, so solid. 3 for 5, not bad.
Yep. So that was
Okay,
the end
cool.
of his email. Thank you, Bill. That was a great email.
Awesome. Thank you,
Love it.
Bill.
Thanks,
I was
Bill.
actually kind of hoping to get a little audio again. I was waiting for the audio review.
We have to ask him to review something.
Because I was figured an audio review of the Pray for the Devil one would have been awesome. There's no good movies coming out this week. Yeah, there's nothing good coming out. Oh, no, it's going to come out though. Next week is Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. He might go see that. He sees everything.
Yeah, but he won't be able to record it by the time the next, because it's not coming out this week.
It doesn't come out this week. It comes out the following week. So he would have
review. I would like.
So we're 2 weeks out. We would have him 2 weeks out.
But I would like no. I want him to review the Kate Blanchett movie because I know he's going to see it.
The where she's an orchestra person.
Yeah.
It's already
it's Tan or something.
Something with a T. It's already out though, I thought.
Yeah, I would like him to review that. If he could review that one, because I know he's seen it.
Are you sure?
He sees everything.
I know he sees everything. I do like Kate Blanchett. I would do some stuff.
Like what is? Hold on, I got to get it. Thanks for. Oh, that's another menu trailer.
I know she plays like a German orchestra lady, but I don't know anything else about it. We'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. If we had a producer that could tell us what the.
Damn, my boy
don't come for me. I'll look it up.
You got called out on our show.
Let's see. Kate Blanchett. I love Kate Blanchett.
I would do some stuff.
I absolutely would do stuff.
It's
but she's
Tar.
like
T-A-R.
Tar. If you've seen Tar, Space Ghost Bill, please give me a review because I'm interested in that movie.
This movie review says it's tarable.
No way, really?
And this one says the tar is real boring. So let's not put him through that movie if he doesn't have to.
Never mind.
You can nix that one, Space Coast.
Wow. Already that movie got canned.
And she's usually like top notch. Oh well.
There's a movie called Till. I don't know if I really want to see
that.
No,
Till looks awesome, and he's already going to see it.
Is he?
Yeah. But how about Space Coast? Do Till.
There you go. Perfect.
Boom. Solid.
Thank you, Space Ghost Bill.
Okay, so now it's time for Matt's Backstage Pass. Woohoo! Just like the movie segment, no need to rush to the music store this week, or if you were to ever go to music stores or download. The big song dropping this week is for the soundtrack of Wakanda Forever, Rhianna coming out of hiding with her song Lift Me Up.
Lift Me Up.
And so if you're a big fan of Riri, you're going to love the song. It's really
her
just
name is Riri?
A lot of people call her Riri for short.
Oh, okay.
And so Lift Me Up is obviously just it's going to be a big song for Wakanda Forever. It's leading her up into the Super Bowl, and then she's eventually going to drop an album, and it's going to be the big thing. So hey, check out Rihanna's Lift Me Up.
There you go.
The other thing that happened this week is Taylor Swift made history. And this, in my opinion, is the ultimate cheat, but you can be the judge on this one.
All right.
She's the first artist with the entire top 10 Billboard hits. So like when you look at the Billboard 100,
right,
the top 10 spaces are all Taylor Swift songs.
What?
So what they do, and so basically she took over the reins from Drake, because Drake
insane.
So Drake prior had it. But what they do is back in the old days, like back in our days when we were listening to music, like the labels would put one song out. And they'd put a song out, they'd have a video, everybody would watch it. That would last a couple months, and then they would put another song out. So they would slowly release these songs. So the gimmick is Taylor Swift's label basically drops all of the songs
At the
that's
same
on the
time.
album at the exact same time, and that's what takes the chart. Like, granted, you still need all of the Swifties or whatever they're called to buy the album, and then you push it up the chart. So if it's the number one album and you're buying all of those songs anyway,
Yeah.
those songs are gonna get bumped to the top. It's kind of a gimmick, but she technically holds a record now based on this
Right.
week. And like, her album we all kind of knew was going to be the number one album. It's just one of those extra little accolades that you can now
nuts.
get.
The first time ever, right?
Well, she's got 10, whereas Drake had 9 prior. So
she wins.
But once again, all it does is so now Drake is going to go, oh, on my next album, I'm going to put 12 songs. You know what I mean? It's
stupid.
I think it's stupid.
They just keep trying to outdo each other.
That's all it is. And but hey, she's winning at the moment. She just announced a stadium tour for 2023. And you got to give her credit. Her and like Lady Gaga are the only ones that can literally sell stadiums by themselves. It's not like, like there's other bands like U2s and stuff like that. They're solo performers selling stadiums.
And their opening acts aren't helping their game at all.
Well, typically Taylor has like good opening acts. Like in the past, she's had like One Direction, Harry Styles. She's had Ed Sheeran. Like she brought Ed Sheeran to the stage because he was opening up for her. So she's typically has a solid opening act, but the ticket is being sold. You don't care who the opening act is. It's Taylor Swift, and you're going because you want to see Taylor Swift. So got to give her credit. She definitely puts on a show if you like that kind of thing.
How old is she now?
I think she's like 32, maybe 30 something. And she's still rehashing boyfriend issues. So
she's always got boyfriend issues.
But she found the formula. You good on her. She found whatever the formula is that is cranking out hit after hit after hit. So
she's not I mean, she's not looking to win the Powerball. She don't care.
No, she doesn't need to. She's beyond she's got beyond money. So
she probably's got close to $1 billion by now.
Yeah. What I do appreciate about her is she puts out autographed albums. So you can actually buy like autographed albums.
Oh, there you go.
She shouldn't have to do that, but she does it. And it's legitimately her autograph. Unlike if you just bought the new Sammy Hagar in the Circle album, they were selling it as autographed Sammy Hagar and Michael Anthony, not auto pen, but like secretarial. So there's a lot of people in my groups on Facebook that bought these like Sammy Hagar because they autographed, right? So they would then send it to like, PSA or Beckett's or one of these, and all of them are coming back as being,
not
secretarial, not by Sammy Hagar. So yeah, don't go. So some of those you can get scammed. Taylor Swift's are actually have always been known to be solid. That she's really signing them. So just a little fun fact on that one. I had another thing for Backstage Pass, so I'm going to skip it because of time. So now we're just going to go right into TV, and nothing makes me more excited. So last night I was just like flipping channels. I had a long day at the hospital, all that kind of stuff. I get home and I'm just kind of like, oh, what am I going to watch? And I go right to Discovery Channel because that's my jam. I see big bold letters, new season 24 of Little People Big World. Last night, I was like, woohoo! Like, you know what?
You serious?
People get excited over like Game of Thrones and Yellowstone and all that. No, Little People Big World, that's my jam. I could not watch it fast enough. I was boom.
How many episodes did you watch?
Well, there's only one. The season just started this week. And so we basically got to see the Zach have his third kid. But anyway, I've realized season 24, I've seen every single episode.
What?
Every single episode of Little People Big World.
Already.
Just in history, because I've started watching it season 1 and
oh my god,
I've seen every episode. So I'm excited about that. The next one that people are excited about, and I'm going to start watching it, is White Lotus. Season 2 came out on HBO. White Lotus, Jennifer Coolidge is in it, and she won I think she won an Emmy award for it. Brian's girl, Alexandra Daddario, was in season 1. Apparently, there may be some boobies, and which I think on record, she probably, I don't think we've actually done this on the show before, but if we had to do a top 5 perfect pair, she's definitely probably 1, not 2, if not 2.
Yeah,
it doesn't get any more
incredible.
Perfect. And so that is a reason alone to go see White Lotus. But White Lotus 2 came out. It's this time it's basically about a resort, and there's
White Lotus.
Yeah, it's like a murder mystery at like a resort type of thing.
Again, so it's not really a murder mystery. It's more like they set up at the beginning of the season. They set up a death at the resort.
Thriller Nights.
Oh, so there's a death. There's a death at the.
And then you have to go through the season and find out like kind of who died. It's not really like they're trying to it's not. It's like a flashback, like, or flash forward. The beginning of the season is like at the end of the week, they find a body or somebody dies, and then you have to watch the story to find out who died and how.
So season 2 takes place at another White Lotus resort, but this time it's in Italy, and Sicily, Aubrey Plaza is in it.
Oh, nice!
And Michael Imperioli from The Sopranos is in it, and F. Murray Abraham. I love F. Big fan of F. And so
F. Murray Abraham, Imperioli's pimp.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be
Aubrey
good.
Plaza, nice.
I like me some Aubrey Plaza. So I'm going to check it out. I got to
hopefully there's some more gratuitous.
And Jennifer Coolidge is the only one coming back, I think.
Yeah,
okay. There might be another dude coming back. But
I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen season 1, but yes, another person from season 1 is back.
Okay, so we got to check that out.
And there's some really good actors in season 1 as well. There's Steve Zahn. There's Connie Britton, who played the mom in.
I like Connie Britton.
I loved.
Yeah, Jake Lacey. He was in like the later seasons. The Office as one of the new salespeople.
Oh yeah, I like that dude.
He was really good in it, and there's other ones that are good too. But
and Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah.
She was in. She's in Euphoria.
There's some really good.
She actually can give Daddario a run for the money on the rack. One top 5.
Yeah, maybe, but Daddario is.
Have we done that on the show yet? Because I feel like we. Yes, but anyway,
I don't know. I mean, that may
be a little too risque.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so anyway,
I'm fine with it, but
okay. So anyway, the last one I want to highlight on the TV. It comes out on Netflix. I'm excited to see it only because I like the guy. But Randall Park is in
Blockbuster. Yes.
And he basically plays like the manager of the very last Blockbuster on Earth. And
is it the last one?
It's the last one.
Oh, I thought it was like a throwback to the original. Okay.
No, so it's like New Times, but he's literally holding on to the last Blockbuster. So in a weird sort of way, it's all done by the people who did Superstore and stuff like that. And so I like Randall Park. I think he's funny, but it scares me. It scares me though if it's in current time and they're holding on to Blockbuster because we know how that ends. Like we know it's not going to end well.
Oh man,
it can't go. How many seasons can it go? Like,
I thought it was a.
No, because there's even a running joke in the commercial.
I thought it was Heyday Blockbuster.
No, there's even a running joke in the commercial
like a Superstore.
That one of the guys who works there wants to be a famous director because Quentin Tarantino worked at a video store, and he's already like using different methods to make a movie and stuff. And so he's only doing it as a throwback for like Quentin Tarantino. So
Dagger.
Yeah, it's definitely normal, like modern times.
Dagger.
Superstore was great, but they had another show that they followed up with. It was like a car manufacturer show. It was terrible.
See, I like Superstore.
Superstore was great, but then the showrunners haven't had they're like 50-50 right now. So.
Okay, so we'll see how it goes, but it's going to be on Netflix. So I'm hoping it's a little bit, maybe it gives them more freedom to be a little edgier, maybe.
Right, you can do a prequel, right? I mean, you may have to get a different actor, but still.
Yeah. And even though I tapped out of it, Big Mouth season 6 came out this past week too on Netflix. So if you like the other ones, I'm sure you'll like season 6.
I don't even know what that is.
It's the first couple seasons were awesome. It's basically Nick Kroll. It's a cartoon about puberty. I showed you, yeah. And it just, as it goes on, it's like, come on, you need to put this show to bed. We've already seen the gimmicks, we've seen the jokes and all, but season 6 just came out, so if people like it, they can check it out.
There you go, folks.
I think we've said it all.
We said a lot. We said a lot today. I think we covered a lot of good topics. We had, some PSAs.
We did. We're saving
some
the world.
Good stuff. We could have said more, but we'll save it for next week. So let's get right to it. All music, all tech support for Subfacts is provided by our friend Andy at none other but Creative Underground. He runs a state-of-the-art production studio in Leesburg, Virginia. Everybody can find out more by going to his website, but it doesn't end there, folks. He does custom music creation built around your requirements. He does video live stream events. He does youth corporate events, weddings, concerts, bar mitzvahs, and pro karaoke. I'm telling you, you can't find a better dude out there. You got to go to his website as soon as you can.
www.creativeunderground.co.com. And once again, another reminder, we mentioned it last week. Andy recorded the whole concert
of Iron Maiden.
The Iron Maiden concert that we went to a couple weeks ago, whenever it was. It's actually going to drop on his, I believe, YouTube page, the Creative Underground page, Friday, tomorrow.
Boom.
So
check it out, folks.
Definitely check it out. Great time was had by all. And creativeunderground.co.com. And
my God, you didn't hit me with it because I always F up the .co, not .com.
Oh yeah, boom, solid.
And notice how I said F. I didn't do your, the boy and completely go.
Oh, I know, go straight truck driver. So, the next up to bat is our boy Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com, who asked us to give a special shout out to Space Coast Bill.
Nice,
because Space Coast has apparently liked a lot of his pictures on the old Facebook.
There you go.
I like the synergy happening. Space Coast is able to see what an amazing photographer Ben is, and all the great shots he has.
Every day we're building connections.
And he gets to see, we always say it, like literally when you think of photography, you should only think Ben from KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
Only that's the only name you need to know.
Space Coast is a new believer. He's seen what this guy can do.
Believer or a believer?
He might be a believer, believer, because it's Ben. And so, but anyway, Ben's an award-winning image builder, FAA certified pilot of drones. He also provides website and social media branding packages, pretty much progress and commercial real estate marketing, because we talked about that last week. But pretty much, if you think of photography, you should really only think of Ben.
Yeah. Absolutely. If you need business headshots, you need like a sky drone, you need something to show your corporate building getting ground floor to like 18 stories, hire this guy. He's the best.
Ben at KStreetPhotographyDC.com.
Boom. By the way, we have a warm front coming, folks. So buy this time wisely. You got to call Big Dog Auto Detailing. You got to get that car ceramic before the winter comes in. You only got about a month left. December is going to probably offer a lot of rain, a decent amount of snow, but wind and all that damage, the dirt. So you got to get your car ceramic. You got to get it waxed. You got to get it looking good. So then the winter doesn't damage it so bad, folks. He does everything, cars, trucks. Trailers.
You know what? I'll tell you this, what he's getting hit at big time lately is people who have RVs all summer long. They've done the About Schmidt. They've gone everywhere.
Oh,
and now they're winterizing it. They're going to
clean it up and get it ready.
They get it sparkling clean. Then they put it under a tarp for the winter.
Absolutely. So there you go, folks. And the way you reach him, 571-233-8716. Tell him Subfact sent you. You won't be disappointed at all.
Boom. Next is us, actually.
Us. We'll give ourselves a little pat on the back.
If you are listening to the show for the first time, which we have listeners.
Yeah, that should never be the case.
We're getting bigger and bigger in Vietnam, which is awesome. But we got a few listeners from Spain this time, Ireland. We've got, and even in the States,
we're global.
Even in the States, we've got somebody from Missouri that checked in. We've got some different people all over the place.
Missouri.
Yeah, if you're hearing us for the first time and you love the show and you want to tell all your friends about us,
it's like hearing the Beatles.
Yes. Tell them to go to subfactspodcast.com so they can see pictures that Ben has taken of us. They can get merch because, right off the gate, you got to get some merch. You can get all of our contact information, mainly to write into the show. You're going to go to subfactspodcast@gmail.com and be a part of the show, just like Space Coast Bill is. So subfactspodcast@gmail.com to write in. To learn more about us, go to subfactspodcast.com. If you're telling your friends about us, tell us
YouTube.
Yes, definitely pimp out the YouTube. I don't even think we need to pimp out Apple Podcasts anymore because literally 95%.
We need to pimp out YouTube more, like watch us.
We should. If you want to see our mugs, check out our YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, exactly. We're also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, pretty much everywhere where you can get podcasts. We're there. So,
omnipresent, folks.
Yes, check us out. And
I think that's
done.
I
got
done.
Nothing more to say.
We got nothing.
We're out. So with that being said,
out.
Everybody stay safe, and we will talk to you next week. Boom.
Hurry up.